This is Yerushalmi Peah Daf Mem Dalit. I stopped rather abruptly in the Mem Gimel yesterday because by accident I turned off the recording. But we did finish pay Mem Gimel, and we actually got up to the end of the first line on Mem Dalit Merav. So we're up to Davish Roy Lahatzio, which is the second line in Mem Dalit, and in the Vilna. I don't know how many times I actually made a mistake and said Bavli instead of Vilna for. It's always slipping off the top of my tongue. In the Vilna, it is tip of my tongue, not top of my tongue. It is Daf Chav Hey Amud Beis, and the third one line. Tavish Ruay Lahatzi B'Shalchom. Now, a lot of different pshatim here. The Rebbe says the Argus says Tavish Ruay Lahatzi B'Shalchom. Mao Shiaseh Shichcha. Something which could have saved your Shichcha, but you forgot it. It's become Shichcha itself. Nishmein Madah. Let's have from Omer V'Chulei. Hada Marta. Tavish Roy Linotzel. Shachal, something which could have saved, and you forgot it. Raise your Shichcha, it's Shichcha. Ken Shichcha Mar. By Sheni Gosina Davish Roy Latzil Upashit Misea Akura. And then it's saying, Baya, it's talking about saying which is suitable to save, and we bring evidence from an uprooted sail. This is what it means to say. Davishu Roy not sell. I'm going to read it in the Ridbaz with his Girsa. Davishu Roy not sell Kagon Shibola Shirosha Magila Koma. And you have a stalk which its head can reach the standing grade, like our Mishnah. Buroy not Koma. Can be saved with the Koma. Shako Shakatsu Koma. If you harvested the Koma, the Shako that says the Shbolas, and you forgot to save the stalk. Mausha says Shikha. Mizim Shas Haziba. The other time was left. Even since then, there was still possibly saving it. It didn't become designated for that name. Lo Shikha was not a Shikha. Oh, Dilma, or perhaps Kavan, the Mikomakom Lonely Sola, Abishikha, since found out it wasn't saved. Saved in practice, so therefore it is Shikha. So, I have it in the same way side of my Gemara that the Sharato Yisrael changes many gersos here. The Kavanoki says that the question is by a comma that you forgot, which similar to the case we had at the top. A comma which saved. It did save already the stalk next to it, and now you forgot the comma. The saving comma you forgot itself. Does because the comma in the kutzer, which already saved, because in the proximity, save also the comma which you now forgot. So the Shmini Medah, the Gemara says, listen over here. Im es harishon es hasheni es hashlishi. The Shachar says sarvi. You made an omer of the first, second, and third, and then you forgot the fourth. Each time not as a chamishis, I raise a shikha. So those who say once you take the fifth one, then the fourth one is shikha because you forgot it. Each time surely to chamishis, even if you didn't actually take it, but enough time passed for you to take the fifth one, I raise a shikha. It's considered a shikha. Amar bun barchia. Says, when do I say that it's not shikha until you take the fifth one? That's shiyesham shishis, when there's a sixth one down the line. So therefore, there's still a continuity. Manuel says even you just carried enough time to take a fifth one. Shiyesham shishis now when there is now a sixth one to take into account. Each shalom natas chamishis. Now says the Gemara, this is the proof. If before you took the fifth one, before you took the fifth one, lo kfan yirel lo laduna sarvis b'shura, is not at that time already the fourth should be saved. Why? Because it should be considered part and parcel of the fifth, right? Even if, and then when you come to the fifth, you happen to going to go to Rebaz's Girsa. If you come to the fifth, and you happen to but you still haven't taken up the fourth, it shouldn't matter because it already needs so by its proximity. So it must be the proximity doesn't save unless you follow through and you harvest it before you harvest the fifth. Okay, so Iman Shlomo, it should look like you're alone doing something. Be sure you can't really assume it's part of the row of the fifth one. So it must see that's something which you could have been saved. Again, with the revised gear, so that the shbolis in the kotzer, which could have been saved, but in shachol you forgot it. Subsequently, harayz the shikha. It's considered to be shikha. Okay, now instead of the words davar, the issue roy latzil shachol mashiach says shikha. The Kavanok has a girsa, which makes it much easier. Vista boy, for those who want to say. The Shminim Me'adot, let's start from here. So, Tvura Akura. You have a saw of Tvura which is uprooted. We say you have a say of Tvura which is uprooted. We say She'enok Akura, say which is not uprooted. But Tatia Akira as She'en Akira. That's the one which you already uprooted. In other words, you took possession of it. Say the one which you haven't yet taken possession of it. Because it's there, right? They're in proximity. Something which could have saved. Shachon, you forgot it. Raise the shikha. It's considered shikha. Rabbi Yonah says it's not a raya. Tipater bekitzer shura amer shura. You harvested one row and you were making piles in another row. Shakol shachas hakama achlo shachach achlo yishkach samora hamorim, and you forgot the kama before you forgot the amorim. Now this is a very cryptic Gemara. So let's go with the Kavanaki here. Kavanaki says. Later on, I'm going to learn in a Mishnah that Omer, which has a sign, besides this sign, which is obviously very chashuv, it's based on sign, it's like Chatzar Mishkan, and also a comma, standing grain, which has a sign. It can't be shikha; it's too large, right? Now, then we learn Seir Tvua Akura says Ein Akura Ein Mitzvah Latzil. And so that is actually not in our Gemara. It's a quote from the Mishnah later on. Say this, so that's for a conversation. Eno, says for Kura, but say, says for Kura, but say, Ena Kura. Eno Mitzarefes. Okay, that's Eno Mitzarefes is not in our Gemara. He adds in from, I guess, later on, or different version. So they don't join together to make up a base sign. So the Kavanagi says that the Gemara initially thinks it's talking about where you forgot the sheave previously, and then you forgot the standing grain. And before you forgot the standing grain, the sheave should have saved standing grain should have saved the sheave. It shouldn't be considered shikha. Nevertheless, when you forget the standing grain, it does become shikha. So Hadamara, this teaches us that davar shroy latzil v'sholchacha areu shikha, right? Something which is something which is with matzil initially, so gamshicha later on. Says Mar, no, tiftor, you can resolve it, you can reject that proof. In other words, there's no proof from here, because maybe the Mishnah is talking about the koitzer shura ma'amer shura. You went in rows. Somebody who forgot first the standing grain and came shikha. It was not yet, didn't yet save. And now you forgot afterwards, you forgot the sheaf. Or the bundle, whatever you're going to call it. Only then does everything become shikha. And in that, in this case, the kama is not matzil. I guess it's in the other. It's in the other row, right? Because the shura ma'amar shura. Of course, the koma actually shkach amorim. You forgot the koma before you forgot the amorim, so therefore it's not matzil. That was we were coming against. That was his kosher shura ma'amar shura. You're harvesting one line and bundling another line, because in this case the koma becomes shikha immediately when you start bundling. Whenever koma is standing, it should be considered to be shikha. So again, it's a bit complicated. Let's read the Kabbalah with his gears inside. It's a tinin on the team. We learned Sa'atvua Akura, Sa'atvua, which is uprooted. It says Shen Akura, which is not uprooted. They don't, aim service don't make up to base sign together. The Titza Akura Mishum Shen Akura, let the one which is uprooted be saved because of the Ein Akura. In other words, it's still considered to be prior to any shikha. If you forgot, then afterwards, it doesn't work. If you forgot afterwards the pile, you can't go back and say, "Well, I had a comma there." It's just I can't say I forgot the comma, but I have the pile there. I can't say I had the pile, but I have the pile. Even though I had the pile, I also had the comma there as well. No, the other way around. Just like I can't say if I have akura that it's saved by the enakura, meaning that the sheep is not so saved by the standing grain. So do afterwards, even though it's saved already. It shouldn't be saved because it's not. Hope again, it's right. No, I was getting wrong. You forgot the omer, the it's called the saw, right? You forgot the saw, but it was saved by the comma. Okay, so the saw is saved by the comma. Now you forgot the comma, right? So yeah, so again, so that's why akura v'sasha and akura, and seven together. But titzo akura, let the one which is uprooted be saved, because of the one which is ein akura. One which is titza akura, ein akura. Should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Say it for a second. Okay, this is my mistake. So again, it's my mistake. Kura, now, then proofs on the next line. The Tninan, because we learned, and this is not in the. It is here. This is the Tninan. Satva Akura, Sash and Akura, and Service Latzil. In other words, it's talking about where you forgot the Omer first, and then you forgot the comma. As long as you haven't forgotten the comma, it saves the Omer. But when you forget the comma, it becomes Shikha, right? Satva Akura, Session Akura, right? It's they don't join together to be saved. In other words, the Sar Tvura Akura, but the Sar Tvura Shein Akura can save the Sar Tvura, which is Ein Akura. But the Sar Tvura Ein Akura can save the Sar Tvura Akura, not vice versa. The Sar Akura cannot save the Ein Akura. They're not starved together, and it doesn't save it, right? Damra, this teaches us, Dabashu Roylatil, certainly the comma which originally could save, the Shalom you forgot it, Shikha, right? So Rabbi said Tipata, no, this is not evidence. Could be because it's Kotzer Shura Ma'amar Shura. You harvested a row and you were the bundling in the next row. Oh, so if that's the case, you don't go from row to row. But you already forgot the standing grain before you forgot the amorim. And so therefore, we're talking about the issue is it's starfus. The only way it could still work is the mitzvah, but it says it can't be mitzvah. Why is that the only way it could work? Because we're talking about that before you forgot the comma, uh, 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 we're talking about somebody who first forgot the comma, and then it became shikha. It was before it's matzu, and then he forgot the omer, right? And then it all becomes shikha because the omer can't save. It's less than a sasayim. It's not mitzvah. So in this case, where the comma was never matzio, then reciprocally the omer can't be matzio. Now, and why shukot to shumar mashura? It's because in that case the comma had already become shikha immediately when he started being ma'amer the next shura. Okay, that was more complicated than I thought, but it works out in the end. Where are we here? Okay, in the article there's a header here. Shibolish shaleka shistarva begadish. You have a stalk of lekker which got mixed up in the pile. Kesos, what do you do? Maybe Sheshimon, bring two stalks. So he says, Im leket who? If this one is leket, how about you off it? Stay off, it's good. Being lav, and if not, it's meisters in the second one. Unless you're trying to give him the first one. What do you mean? This could be a big tarkola. Made one which you made into meiser was itself like an if it's supposed to be a meiser. So it's a big problem. So therefore, this is a different procedure. Maybe station will bring two stalks. Im leket who zeh up. It's like it's fine. You have not hare my source of kivuim bezu. Its meiser is in the other one. The nosos achasman give them one of them. So what's the difference here? The let me mix it up here. On Memdalma Bays, just before, we were talking about where you bring two stalks, you say, if this one's leket, that's fine, it's the same thing. And if not, its maestras are embedded in this one. Okay? But there it says, no, so it's Rishona. You give him the first one. And here it says, you give him either one of them. It doesn't have to be Rishona. It can be the Shnia. And the reason why that is, sounds like it's Brera. Yeah. So, no, that's not where the Kavanaki learns it. He says, give him one of them, he also give him the first one. So why does it work? Maybe you might have been the second one, which is actually like it. So it goes like the following. Rabbi Avob Shimon Lakish, Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Yossi, didn't I tell America, Rabbi Yossi, Kol Shechalifa B'A Kohen Patur Min HaMatanos. Anything which exchanges on the Kohen is exempt from the Mandas Kuna. Remember Chayiv. It says the Chayiv. So according to Rabbi Yossi, so then you have this exchange which takes place, which works out, and it's a long Kavanaki, or even the Kavanaki's long, which says that Kosh Khalifa Biad Kohen or Kosh Khalifa Biad Oni, you can switch, and therefore this one, even though it could have been Leket, number two, since you're giving him number one, so it's exchanged, and the number two becomes Chulin in order for the mises of number one to take effect on it. Again, because as long as the Ani gets whatever he's supposed to get and net gains, he doesn't care exactly what he gets. Just like by Cohen, it's the same thing, and we'll come back to this Gemara tomorrow because we already went way over time. Where do we get over here? So remember here with Aleph, Okay, where are the fourth line from the bottom?